Edmonton News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining me tonight. I'm Alicia Asquith. More than a year late and $1 million over budget, Premier Jason Kenney's much-hyped public inquiry into anti-Alberta energy campaigns finally released its report today. It uncovered no conspiracies, no wrongdoing, no misinformation, and comparatively little foreign money flowing into Alberta's environmental campaigns. As our Charles Rusnell reports, critics say it's another huge embarrassment for the Kenney government.
Public inquiry will be sunlight on the activities of this campaign. It will investigate all of the national and international connections, follow the money trail, and expose all of the interests involved.
Premier Jason Kenney in July 2019 justifying the inquiry. He also referenced misinformation, massive funding from wealthy American foundations, even potential Russian and OPEC interference, all part of a dark conspiracy to landlock Alberta's oil. But the report by Calgary forensic accountant Steve Allen found essentially nothing that supported any of Kenney's claims. Allen's 657-page report couldn't determine how much foreign money went to anti-Alberta energy campaigns. And he couldn't say if environmental campaigns on their own caused cancellations or even delays in Alberta oil and gas projects. Allen conceded the more likely cause of job losses and energy project cancellations was a downturn in the economy.
They were hoping that they were going to have this big expose, and they got a dud. The report basically found that there was nothing wrong, and actually there hadn't been a lot of money going to Canadian environmental groups.
But the lack of evidence didn't stop Energy Minister Sonia Savage from claiming foreign-funded environmentalists had damaged the province's energy industry.
I don't care if the activity is legal or illegal. It doesn't impact or detract from the fact that Albertans were hurt. People lost their jobs, people lost their homes, their investment, their income. The province has been set back at a competitive disadvantage.
From the outset, environmental groups have contended Kenney used the inquiry to score votes during the last provincial election, while also attempting to intimidate and silence critics.
And I think the reality is, people recognize we need to act on climate change. Jason Kenney has tried to terrify his opponents, and the reality is no one is afraid of Jason Kenney right now. They're afraid of climate change.
Simon Dyer of the Pembina Institute said the Kenney government needs to stop the blame game and get serious about tackling climate change.
And we really urge the government of Alberta to seriously address these issues by committing to a climate change plan and a commitment to net zero. Alberta could have spent the past 2 years actually developing a climate plan that's consistent with Canada's obligations. We look like an outlier.
Energy Minister Sonia Savage was asked why Kenney wasn't at the news conference today. She said he had other pressing matters. Charles Rusnell, CBC News, Edmonton.
NDP leader Rachel Notley, meantime, says all the Allen report has served to do is damage Alberta's oil and gas industry at a time when the province should be focused on creating jobs and opening new markets for our energy products.
What Albertans are looking for is a government that will create jobs, not a government solely focused on creating anger. The report that was released today, and certainly the minister's dishonest description of that report today, are not going to create jobs, and they are certainly not going to help undo the reputational damage that this government, and frankly this report and its crafting, has done to the oil and gas industry internationally.
Notley added the story we should be telling the world is that Alberta's energy sector is moving aggressively towards a goal of net zero carbon emissions by 2050.